Hello, everybody. Welcome to another top five plus more. This is a too many this week to go through. So I had to add some. I had to give them to you guys before just taking rather than just taking five, and we're probably at what 10 or 11 now, as you can see on the screen. But this week it's a big week. You have Apple earnings, Tesla earnings, you have LRCX earnings, you have AMD earnings. You have a lot of big companies here that people are looking at. Facebook, I believe, too, that people are looking at, thinking that these earnings are going to be great. Um, Also, we have the subculture, the Reddit culture, which is great. I actually, I don't read Wall Street Bets and all these other guys, but I think it's kind of like a cool, um, it's cool thing that you saw in crypto. I think it's kind of cool that they're all kind of, working together. It's kind of like the sum of all parts is greater than the one mighty hammer that they're fighting. So I think it's kind of cool. So let's get into this. We're going to start with Big Mama, Apple. I don't know how I've been seeing some people out there. They're talking about, hey, these plays, this play. I'm not sure how you don't have Apple on this. And I understand it's not, the greatest. It's weighted down and it's, I get all that, but how do you not have Apple on here? It, the green box to me, I love the green box on TrendSpider. If you guys aren't on TrendSpider, you should absolutely check it out. We'll leave a link for you at the end. But this is a huge measured move. As I told our members this weekend, it's good if you're looking at it from a technical standpoint. It's good. It broke through the descending wedge a couple days ago. This was your move. Um, we actually bought some 138s, I think somewhere right around here. Uh, Not last week, but actually the week before. Um, Anticipating some sort of movement. Those are up 180% right now. I'm expecting those to be about 300 by the time this measured move is done. It closed above all-time highs, 138.79. It closed above at 139.07. You didn't need it to be at 145 for it to be bullish. You just had to get it over this area here. So measured move, I'm expecting an inside day from Apple. Maybe it pushes up here and then comes back to retest this 139.67, or whatever the high was off that 139.85 to be exact. Um, Market looks like it wants to go. SPX over 38.50 is just absolute. We're going to tear it up 30, 40 points this week, maybe 50, depending on how Tesla and Apple come out with. But Apple is in play. We also layered on the 145s for this week. I'm expecting about 80% on that on an average earnings, report from Apple. But I will tell you guys, if Apple says we have so many back orders, we have so many people demanding the iPhone. This is the best iPhone sales we've had since the X. I'm making it up, and their guidance is good, and the guidance is up. This will be at 152, especially if the iPhone is in such high demand they can't keep up. And you guys have to remember, there's a chain effect of this. Where does Apple get its parts from? Where do they get their semis from? Where do they get their chips? What's their supply line? Because if you guys haven't noticed, in semis, they have been running up. EMET, LRCX, Taiwan Semiconductor. All the semis are running. Why? Why would semis be running? It could be one of the big reasons. Keep it on your radar. Next, my favorite stock to trade. I think it's a lot of people's, obviously, Tesla. So disclosure, we're currently in the 975s and 1000s for earnings play. We expect those to go to zero like we do every single thing we do. But this is your big tell. Bears are saying, oh, it's coming down here, let it die. It's not dying. The 8-day held again, and the pennant. This was just, we dipped below, and people are like, oh no, it dipped below. We're going to buy. This is such a great buy. And it shot back up. Expect it over 852 tomorrow. If it's over 852, it's going back to all-time highs. I don't even have to worry about it. 900s look great. They were 20 at close on Friday. If this is gaps up, they'll open up probably around 25, 26, 27. It's a little expensive. You may have to go into the 920s, 925s, and you'll have to play it for earnings. Not saying you have to do that, but that's what I would do. I don't think spending $50 for the 880s is going to be a very good return on investment. You might make 75 out of it. I don't think the risk reward is great. But if Tesla guides up, same thing as I said about Apple. If Tesla guides up, they had more deliveries than they've ever had, which I believe they already said they did. They're more profitable than the last quarter. Remember, the last quarter was the first time they were profitable. And they guide forward saying they expect X amount of deliveries that are higher than what they are currently at. And they are expecting a more profitable first quarter of this year. I will tell you right now, Tesla will be at 930. I think it'll actually be at 942. It'll overshoot it, and you'll be up in this stratosphere up here. And once Tesla gets going, you never know what can happen with Tesla. It might just run to 1,000 and it'll leave you in the dust. And by Friday, we're sitting here going, oh my God, Tesla's at 985 or at 985. Holy crap. That's how strong these earnings can be. Next, Fubo, part of the Clear Skies Cafe group. It wants to become just like Teledoc last week. If you guys remember, I was hitting you guys hard on the top 5 last week on Teledoc. There was a reason. Teledoc ran through. Our leaps were absolutely on fire. They are free trades, plus we made profit. Such a good move by Teledoc. It was measured. You had to be patient with us. We bought it at 217, the 300s for June, and we also bought the 310s when it was about 226. The 300s we sold 60%, so we're guaranteed all our premium back. Plus, we made money on top of it, and we have 6 months to go. Unbelievable trade. It's still moving. It's still great. Now, going back to Fubo, we loaded Fubo somewhere in this area here between 33 and 31. It dipped down and, oh man, it was killing our premium. Everybody's like, oh man, Fubo. But I kept telling our members during the day, I'm like, this is a basing formation. It was intraday. It was bouncing here, 29.50, and it popped back up, 29.50, it popped back up, 29.50, it popped back up. And that told me that's where the accumulation was. And that told me that's as low as this thing's going. So we are currently in the 35 calls for February 19th. We're currently in the 40 calls for February 19th. Personally, as a disclosure, I bought the May 80 calls back here because that's how hard I think Fubo is going to run in the next few months. Once it breaks this IPO high of 62.29, you're going to have a measured move up to 80. So, but for this week, expect 40-40 tomorrow. I will tell you right now, everything is telling me the premium spreads, the premium in place. It is telling me 40-40 happens tomorrow. That is crazy. Then we see, does it get rejected and come all the way back down to 35 or all the way to the 33? I don't think so. I think it gets to 40, comes back, test this range here, the high from the day before, and I think it meanders here, maybe until Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and it takes off into this 40 group. Some people are like, oh, it's going to see 40 soon. I'm telling you, it's going to see 50 soon. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. Fubo by far is my biggest position. I love it. I can't wait for the Redditors to pump it because it has such a high short float. Plus Super Bowl's coming up, and Fubo's doing some really good stuff on top of it. It's not like it's just this junk company that just sits around. Next up, Nvidia. So I know. I was telling our members earlier today too. I know it's this big behemoth. It's this large, and it's just up, and then it runs up, and then it disappoints you. And you think it's going to go, and it disappoints you. This is just accumulation. That's all this is by big players. This is telling me this higher lows above this trend here, because you had your breakout, and then it started this consolidation phase, that this is going to run. You see the pennant. This is the beginning of the pennant. I do think that if AMD's earnings are good, 572 you're going to see on Nvidia. You may even see all-time highs by the end of the week if it's really good and the market's really moving. I don't think it gets to all-time highs. I think they're going to wait for their earnings to get there. But 572, 573 is a great area to aim for, excuse me, going into this week. I really think if AMD does well, which I think they will, I really do, that Nvidia is going to get a big pump. And then I think it's going to fade, and it's going to go back to accumulation. You'll touch the line and come back, and then touch the line and come back, and touch the line and come back until earnings come. And then once the earnings come, I think you're going to see a big fly over all-time highs, get to 600 or so, and then drop back down. And then, so Just for this week, though, I think 570 is in play. I love Nvidia. I have July 800 calls. That's how strongly I believe in Nvidia. 800 calls. I'm sorry, 700 calls. My bad. I'm sorry. 700 calls for July. So love Nvidia. Chips are going to fly this week, in my opinion. Solo. We have the 12 and a halves for March. OPEX. Bought them down here when it was, I think it was like it's like 710, 712, bought the 750s. This measured move is looking really good. This breaks out of this VWAP here. It breaks the pennant and it clears this VWAP 858. Remember, the VWAPs are part of our volume profile that we use for our members. And if it breaks here, gone. 13 comes, and it comes quick. It'll be a week, maybe 2 weeks. 13 gets there. And once it gets 13, it probably gets rejected and comes all the way back to like 10 or 9. But then that week after that, maybe the 2 weeks after that, it consolidates and it jumps again and goes through. So watch Solo. I will tell you right now, if Pelosi comes out and says $12,000 EV credits are coming, we want to, it's a part of a pollution plan or, whatever it is, we're going to give $12,000 EV credits, tax credits. Every single part of the EV ecosystem will jump. The batteries, the magnets, the manufacture of the cars, the sales of the cars, the cells, like the different ways to power them, whether that's, or the cooling methods, whether that's water, whether that's, however that you're basing the power source, the cooling methods, the aluminum that they use for the weight, the magnets that come with it, the self-driving software, all of this stuff is really going to run. And you need to know that moving forward. Neo, again, just to go back into it. Neo, I know this is going to sound crazy, but Neo could be Tesla of China. China is a bigger market than America. And just by me saying that, if you think it gets through all-time highs here at 67, what stops it from getting to 100 in a month? What stops it from getting to 500 by the end of the year? I'm just saying, like, what stops it? If Pelosi comes out and says $12,000 credit if you buy an EV car, and Neo says we're going to open up, in the U.S. start selling, to people in the U.S. At a retail level. What's to stop Neo from being 1,000 in 2 years? What's to stop? Tell me what's to stop it. And we might look at Tesla and go, well, we're not buying Tesla. We're just going to buy Neo from now on. So that's how strongly I feel about Neo. It went through this whole thing. Like, it went through the whole growth stage, the sell-offs, and they couldn't do it. And now it has it from a technical standpoint. There's your cup, there's your handle. And if you want to push through, go ahead, super. But I'm telling you guys, just from a pure looking at it constructively, Neo could be a $500 stock by the end of the year. $500. You can quote me. Blackberry. Part of that Reddit culture, we're going to go over the few of these that I think are really going to go. Huge short floats. Citron did themselves no favors by, pointing the finger at Reddits and Robin Hooders. And listen, they're part of the ecosystem now. I don't know why. I'm not going to get into a ton of it, but I don't know why people are trying to, like, hate on each other and say, well, and throwing jabs at people. Like, I still don't understand it. We're here to make money, all of us. If you have an opinion, that's fine. If you say this is my opinion and this is why, that's fine. I don't know why you got to take digs at people. Well, it's going to hurt. I think Blackberry, from everything I've been reading, I've been going down the rabbit hole and trying to figure this out. And I think they're going to target, they being the subgroup, which is great. It kind of reminds me, if you guys know anything about crypto, the Link Marines, Chainlink, there was a group that was shorting it, and they were buying advertising to say short Link, it's going to get killed by the SEC, yada, yada, yada. And this huge following of Link, they call themselves Link Marines. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, maybe. They literally put those people out of business twice, not once, twice. The first time they hurt them really bad, and then they tried to do it again, that group that was shorting Link. they tried to do it again, and the Link Marines made sure they took care of them that time. So it's the same type of thing, and it happens a lot. Happened in the bucket shops in the 20s. Um, so it's really interesting. I actually think it's fun. I think it's cool that a lot of individual people garner together, and they they can have as much buying power as Goldman Sachs for this type of stock. So BlackBerry looks like it's next. I'm gonna put some money in the 25s, 25 calls in the 20s, just see what happens. I mean, I don't mind losing $500 to $1,000 just to see what happens. I mean, trust in them. Trust in the people there. So um, BlackBerry is one of the bonuses. Another bonus, space. I just think it looks great. A huge short float as well. Um, it's a good play for this week through 36. You can buy the 40s. I might just buy the 40s on Monday. If it gets through 34.60, I might just buy the 40s for 50 cents, whatever it is. If I get an IV push, maybe it gets to $1. I can sell those really quick, roll up to the 41s, 42s if I think it's going to go more. Virgin just looks really good. The stock is great too. I wish I would have bought more for the IRA down here at 25. I'm an idiot. I should have done better. GameStop. I just wanted to, I'm sure everybody has read, let me take my lines off here. I'm sure everybody has read about, Citron and the whole 9 yards. There's still 120% short float left on this. This thing could get to 100 on this week. Literally, I'm going to take some shots. I'm going to take probably the 90s and the hundreds and just see what happens. If I lose some money, I lose some money. No biggie. But I would rather lose 1,000 trying to make 10,000. So I'm on board. Next on the squeeze, AMC. See the volume just like they started really taking this thing off. If it clears the 200 on the daily here, that's 435. No technical is going to matter. No chart is going to matter. It's not going to matter. It's just going to run. And you could see $7. You literally could see $7 if they really want to take it to them and take it to these shorts that are they're taking it quick. This cascade is a beautiful thing. Now another one I do want to touch on is TSM Taiwan Semiconductors. Let me take this off. Absolute monster move from we'll call it June 1st, even the March lows. But really, once June got going, there's huge orders for semis, and there was just a tweet in an article that came out that said the U.S., China, and Brazil are asking asking Taiwan, the government, to produce more semiconductors. That's the demand. The three largest consumers of semis, I'm not counting the EU as one, I'm counting individual countries, of semis are asking for more. So for me, that tells me already after a massive run up, this has room to go. You could get 138. You might get more. I mean, it's just going to depend on the market. And, it may not be today. It may not be, you're at the top of this kind of trend. If you're conservative, you can wait till this breaks above and you can see what you do. But for me, I'm a little more aggressive. If this touches the 8-day again, I'm really interested in taking it up to 138, maybe buying another week. I'm currently in the 129. This week's expiring 137 calls for TSM that I covered half already for 100%. So it's a free trade for me. So I'm kind of just letting it ride, and we'll see what happens. Last one, I promise. I know we're long here. LRCX, just unbelievable. This is Tesla-like. I mean, this is just a run of runs. And honestly, if earnings on Wednesday are good, which they should be, they may sell this thing. But I'll tell you what, if they sell this thing and it gets back down to 466, you buy it, you put it in the IRA, and you do not touch it. It's kind of like MasterCard. You just put it in there, and you let it do its thing, and it'll be $1,000 in 2 years. If though LRCX, the earnings are great and the guidance, and they say they're going to do a split, 3 for 1, 4 for 1, 2 for 1, whatever that is, this stock will be $700 by the time that split comes. So that's what it is. That's all we have for this week. I know it was a lot. This week could be really, really epic. So Again, if you guys want, check us out, www.alphatraders.com. We have 21 days for $21 that you can try out. We would love for you to. You also have the 3-day program that you can still choose if you want to do 3 days, and then go on your monthly sub. I was talking to one of our guys. He's 4x'd his account in 2 months. That's just one person. Another person that I know, she 2x'd her account. Uh, Other guy I know, he's 3x'd his account. So the results are there for all to see, and we're here to help you and get your process better, and help you see things, and give you ideas, and really just hopefully make you a better trader. That's what it's about at the end of the day. So we appreciate everybody, and we'll see you guys this week. Good luck.